If you pick up a book or a dense article right now, your brain will probably start itching after 2 minutes. You'll feel a physical urge to reach for your phone, check a notification, open an app, or even to just doom scroll. I know this because even though I'm pursuing a PhD at a top university, where my entire job is to read complex 50-page research papers, my brain is just as addicted to scrolling as yours. I had to realize that trying to fight dopamine with pure willpower is a losing battle. I didn't fix my reading focus by being a monk. I fixed it by setting up a strict cognitive environment. And here are the exact 5 rules I use to read deeply every single day. Rule number 1. I use a 15-minute reading block followed by a 10-minute rest. Those standard 25-minute Pomodoro intervals don't work for deep reading because it takes 15 to 20 minutes just to immerse your brain in a complex topic. During my 10 minutes of rest, I stare at the wall, drink water, or just stretch. I let my brain rest and not consume. But here is the golden rule: the 10-minute rest cannot include scrolling. If you scroll on your break, you flood your brain with cheap dopamine, and resetting your brain for the next 50-minute block becomes impossible. Rule number 2. Shift the goal from time spent to volume consumed. I commit to reading at least 20 pages every single day. If you leave your reading open-ended, you won't do it. But 20 pages is an achievable baseline. To force myself to stick to this, I joined a book club. When you have to show up and talk to peers about what you read, the fear of looking unprepared overcomes your laziness. Find an accountability system. Relying on your own motivation is the biggest trap. Rule number 3 is the sacred morning window. Your focus for the day is decided in the first 60 minutes after you wake up. I wake up early, and for the first 2 hours of my day, my phone stays completely off or just in another room. Instead of feeding my brain high dopamine inputs the second I open my eyes, I exercise, and that is rule number 4. Moving your body wakes up your nervous system, and it helps you keep energized throughout the day without losing your focus. By the time I sit down to read my first paper of the day, my brain is calm, clear, and hasn't been corrupted by a digital feed or any kind of cheap dopamine. And that brings us to rule number 5. Don't turn productivity into prison. While I use the 50-10 rule as a guideline, if my brain feels completely full or blocked after 30 minutes, I stop and take a break. I listen to my cognitive fatigue intuitively rather than forcing myself to stare at a page just because a timer tells me to do. The goal is deep comprehension, not suffering. You don't lack the intelligence to read deeply, you just have an environment that actively destroys your attention span. Pick one of these 5 rules and try it tomorrow. If you want to see how these frameworks play out in real time as I balance my research as well as a startup, hit subscribe, and I'll see you on next Friday. Pick up your pens, take out your diaries, let the docs and works begin.